Just when you thought you could turn your back and walk away, the dark cloud of human indignity follows you. You have no choice but to turn and look it in the eye. It's the sex offender hit list.
New York, a Howard man is facing multiple charges after allegedly creating and sharing child sexual abuse material. Tyler A. Evans, a 19-year-old, pretty young to be into that stuff, was arrested on June 7th after the Village of Bath Police Department and the Steuben County Sheriff's Office searched his home. The police department and sheriff's office obtained a search warrant on Evans' home following a child sexual abuse possession investigation. According to the Bath Police Department, Evans was allegedly creating and in possession of that material. The police say that Evans was also sharing those images on the internet. The Bath Police Department will be working with the FBI to seek further charges in the case, and the Bath Village Police Department, the Steuben County Sheriff's Office, as well as the New York State Police Computer Crime Unit worked on that investigation that led to this chomo's arrest. And of course, this investigation is still ongoing. Louisiana. Deputies said a man has been arrested on child sexual abuse material charges. According to the West Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office, the man, Kwame J. McGee, a 20-year-old, is charged with possession and distribution. Deputies say he's from Shreveport. Deputies said their investigation also began back in April of this year after they learned that McGee was posing as a high school student on social media. He was also allegedly enticing a 15-year-old girl to send him nude pictures and videos. According to authorities, an investigation revealed that McGee allegedly sold those pictures and videos of the 15-year-old girl on social media as well. Shreveport police arrested McGee and he was later booked into the West Baton Rouge Parish Detention Center on 12 counts of child sexual abuse material involving minors. McGee's bond has been set at a cool $200,000. See ya, Chomo! We'll head up to Maine, where an Oxford County grand jury has returned a total of 9 counts against a Rumford man already accused of crimes against a child under the age of 18. Raymond Hoyt was 82 when he was arrested on June 28th of last year after a report of sexual abuse was reported to the Maine Child Protective Services. The Rumford police investigation that began immediately led to 1 charge of unlawful sexual touching and 1 charge of domestic violence assault. Officials say they have discovered new evidence of crimes against 4 other children. The criminal acts are alleged to have happened between 2004 and 2014 in Rumford, Mexico, and in Bethel, New York. The investigation's findings were laid before a grand jury, which then delivered a total of 9 charges, including the 2 previous counts from last year. So now at age 83, Hoyt's being charged with 1 count of gross sexual assault against a child under the age of 12, 3 counts of unlawful sexual contact against a child under the age of 12, 1 count of unlawful sexual contact against a child under the age of 14, and we have 2 counts of unlawful sexual touching against a child under the age of 14. Hoyt is currently being held at the Oxford County Jail on a mere $75,000 cash bail by order of a county superior court justice. If convicted, he faces up to 30 years in prison and a $50,000 fine. For some reason, I don't think this guy could last 3 weeks in prison. See ya, Chomo. Indiana. An internet image search led to a Jackson County man's arrest in a case involving a sexually explicit image of a child. 62-year-old Robert W. Simpson of Seymour is charged with possession of child sexual abuse material, a level 5 felony. The tip involves a Bing image search for sexually explicit images of children. What a stupid chomo, just goes right out there and puts it out blank to everybody to see. Well, anyways, an ICAC investigator with the Bloomington Police Department began working that case. Microsoft, who owns and operates Bing, flagged an image accessed on its services on, March 7th. The image involved a child under the age of 12 and was sexually explicit in nature. That tells me that you can actually access those kind of images through Bing. That's kind of not cool. The phone number and address both led back to Simpson. A subsequent search warrant was obtained for a Yahoo email address also associated with the chomo. The investigator cross-referenced Simpson's address with the Bureau of Motor Vehicle Records and discovered Simpson had previous convictions for child molesting and child exploitation. On June 5th, Simpson arrived at the Jackson County Sheriff's Office for a meeting about his sex offender status. The investigator interviewed Simpson, who admitted he possessed and viewed child sexual abuse material recently. He said he used his cell phone to find the material through different apps, and had been doing it for over a year now. Again. He said he tried to delete the child sexual abuse material from his phone after he viewed it, and he told the investigator it had been about a week since he'd sought out such material. He also said he doesn't view it, he does view it, but he doesn't actually touch kids. You never know. Simpson had an initial hearing on Friday. He's back due in court in July with a trial tentatively scheduled for November. A Marion County man arrested earlier this year on multiple sex-related charges involving an underage girl in one case and rape charges in another case has now been picked up on child sexual abuse material charges. 60-year-old Wesley Allen Kelly of Peel picked up the additional charges after a search warrant was issued for his residence and a computer was located and taken into evidence. Well, the computer was searched by a special agent with the Arkansas State Police Internet Crimes Against Children's Division, who found 305 pictures and 427 videos of child sexual abuse material on this chomo's computer. Kelly is charged with 5 felony counts of distributing, possessing, or viewing matter depicting sexually explicit conduct involving a child. And check this out. He's currently free on a $25,000 bond. Probably paid a bondsman $2,500 and just out there walking around. Kelly was originally arrested in March after the Arkansas State Police Crimes Against Children hotline received a call about 2 victims who are sisters who were sexually assaulted by Kelly. He's charged with sexually grooming a child and sexual assault in that case. In another case, in which the court documents are sealed, so we don't know too much about them, but Kelly's being charged with 3 counts of rape and 1 count of sexual assault. How can you just let a sick man walk like that? She's given no bond in this case. Unreal. This justice system needs to be fixed. This is 35-year-old Nathaniel Garbin of Joliet. He was arrested, processed, and transported to the Will County Adult Detention Facility for traveling to meet a child, indecent solicitation of a child, and grooming. Following an investigation by the Joliet Police Department Narcotics Unit, Garbin was identified as a suspect engaging in improper communication with whom he believed to be a 16-year-old female. During the investigation that lasted approximately 2 weeks, Garbin engaged in conversations of a sexual nature with a Joliet Police Department undercover officer who was posing as that 16-year-old female on social media apps. During numerous conversations using Whisper and Snapchat, Garbin acknowledged the age of the minor and solicited her for various sexual acts. Shouldn't have done it. See ya, chomo. 38-year-old Andrew Allen Brown of Dripping Springs was sentenced to life in prison on May 30th after being found guilty of continuous sexual abuse of a child younger than 14 years old. Brown was a real estate agent, well, not no more. who also worked with young children as a cheer coach. According to a report following Brown's arrest, the Dripping Springs Century News said that Brown was the owner of a cheer gym in Dripping Springs. The evidence showed that the defendant had sexually abused an 8-year-old child for more than a year. And according to a press release from the Hays County Criminal District Attorney Kelly Higgins, the victim was the child of a family friend. The evidence showed that Brown had on numerous occasions volunteered to take the child while his wife and friends were out, and the abuse occurred during those times. Brown was released on bond before the trial. Following his conviction, though, Brown's bond was revoked and he was taken into custody for a sentencing hearing in front of 207th District Court Judge Tracy Wright Renault. Evidence in the punishment phase showed that the defendant had also possessed thousands of pornographic images of the young child, as well as other young children. The child sexual abuse material was discovered after he made calls from jail asking a family member to destroy the storage device that contained those images. Well, that family member did the right thing. See ya. Or, no, we're not going to see ya. Sorry, you're gone for life, Chomo. A Peoria County grand jury finds prosecutors have sufficient evidence to try a local man there for alleged sexual abuse of a child. The grand jury indicted Miguel Fenderson, a 45-year-old of Peoria, on one count of aggravated criminal sexual abuse for allegedly committing a sex act with a minor younger than 13 on or about October 2nd of last year. If convicted of the Class 2 felony, Fenderson faces a possible prison sentence of 3 to 7 years, but he could also be given probation, which is a travesty of the justice system here. At first court hearing on the charge, Fenderson was released from jail before the trial on a personal bond. Well, anyways, Fenderson's arraignment scheduled for Wednesday, June 12th, tomorrow at 10:30 in the morning. Stay tuned, and tomorrow night I'll see if I can't find out what happened. See ya, Chomo, tomorrow. A 34-year-old man from Evansville, Indiana, is facing serious charges in Gallatin County, with allegations of sexual abuse involving multiple counts. This is Michael Wiley. He's accused of 2 counts of predatory criminal sexual assault of a child and 13 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse, stemming from incidents dating back to November of last year. Wiley was apprehended in Fultondale, Alabama, on May 15th of this year following a report of an alleged sexual assault. The incident was reported to the Fultondale Police Department at 11:53 p.m., with the assault said to have taken place in front of the Fultondale Elementary School during a traveling fair. Both the victim and the suspect, Michael Wiley, were reported to be employees of the fair. After being taken into custody, Wiley was transported back to the Gallatin County to face the charges against him. He's scheduled to appear in court for a preliminary hearing on June 17th at 9 a.m. in Gallatin County, and you can be sure that you're going to find out what happened to him right here on the sex offender hit list. See ya, Chomo.
Let me out of here! Let me out of here!
When a child experiences trauma, they can be stripped of their ability to imagine. But imagination is colors. All the colors. Imagination is freedom and whatever you want it to be. But a child without imagination is not a child at all. Will you help defend our right to imagine?